Rotate your phone.
I'm on the sales meeting. I'm not on Facebook Live, idiot.
Hi, it's Dan Seiler this morning with LicataLive. Today I'm joined by Maurer from the Licata group here at EXP Realty. So we're hashing through some technical issues here, just making sure that we're able to answer any questions that come up.
So first of all, I can't see it on the screen, but I just realized that we are sideways.
Ah.
So let's try to fix that.
So should we flip the camera?
Sure. That might be upsetting. Okay, I think you can't see me. We're upside down.
Hold on a second.
Give us just a second to get this figured out. So now I think we're good, but it's, let's see here.
Hold on a second.
Give us just a second to get this figured out. So now I think we're good, but it's, let's see here.
Hold on a second.
Give us just a second to get this figured out. So now I think we're good, but it's, okay. The one we're watching has a little bit of a lag, so I'm not sure what we're saying. I'm going to turn the volume off there. There we go. Okay, I think we're good.
I think we got it. Just a little bit of technical difficulty here. Hey, thanks for joining us again. Again, Dan Seiler, Maurer. We're still picking up sound. Just a little bit of technical difficulty. There you go. There we go. Now we really got it. We had a little bit of reverb, I think, as the roadies like to say in our broadcast. So today we wanted to talk to you about working with builders and, you know, what that entails as we're seeing inventory in the market shrink, and folks are starting to contemplate, hey, how do I go about building a home versus buying a used home, and what's that like, and what's that approach that you would need to take? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let Maria talk about that to start out with. So,
yeah, well, new construction can be a great option since, you know, as everyone knows, and we've been talking about a lot lately, how the inventory is so low, and it's tough as a buyer right now because the market's so competitive, and buyers are to make sure that they're getting the houses that they want, they're having to offer over asking price, waive inspections, all of those kinds of things. So new construction can be a great option if you have the time to wait for it. Right now, most builders are, 6 to 12 months out from when they start, sometimes more. Also with the unavailability of building materials and the price of building materials, the price of new construction is also going up. Have you seen that as well, Dan?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what we're seeing is prices increasing such that people are posting things on Facebook with pictures of lumber trucks going by and saying, there goes my first million. You know, what we've seen year over year, roughly in terms of total material cost, is we've seen an increase of 130% over this time last year. So it's probably going to continue due to the huge demand. So Mary, when someone buys a home and they go into a development, what are they typically seeing? Are the builders releasing all of the lots like they would have in the past, or tell me about that process?
I think it probably depends a lot on the builder and the type of community they're building and how far along they are in the process. But what I've seen recently, I visited a new construction community in Caroline County probably about 6 months ago with a buyer. And at that point, they had, pretty good availability. Not a whole lot, but they had a few lots available and a few different choices for the house. And I went back just a couple weeks ago with another client to that same community, same sales rep, everything. And the prices had increased so much that it was just unbelievable. And at that point, they only had one lot, and they said that they wouldn't be releasing a few more lots until for another month. And I think that's pretty consistent with some of the different communities in the area. I know Lauren Cotton on our team, she had that same experience on new construction here in Locust Grove.
Right.
That they had people really on a waiting list, and they were only releasing so many per month. And I know different builders do it a little bit differently, but I think they normally have some sort of formula for every certain number of homes that they sell. They raise the price $5,000 or something like that. So the cost of new construction really is going up very quickly.
And part of our job as your representative, when you engage us to work with a builder, is to protect you through that process. Now, Mary doesn't know it, but after we do this LicataLive, I'm actually going to that same development that she referenced in Caroline County. And right now, there is a waiting list of 8 people for the particular model my client's interested in. So what a builder will do is a builder will release a certain number of lots, fill them with first come, first serve on the waiting list. Then once those few lots have been released, they will increase the cost for the next segment, bring in more people from that waiting list, do another build out, increase the costs. So how the builders are recouping the cost differential of materials when they increase is to basically manage their own supply, and when they do, increase the cost. Now, as Mary had alluded to early, with inventory being so low, builders today are in a primary position to basically manage that process. Mary, have you seen this? I've also seen this where a builder is in the past saying, hey, these are our lender partners and our title partners. Now, since they hold so much leverage, are they also telling you to use their lenders as well?
I mean, in my experience, most of the builders do have a lender and a title company that they partner with. And in the past, I've seen them offer incentives to buyers for using their lender or title company, such as, paying a portion of their closing costs or, some other add-ons or something like that as a benefit. Now, they can't require you as a buyer to use their title or lender, because that is, the buyer has the choice on that, but they can offer incentives that make it more attractive to the buyers to use their lenders or title companies.
In fact, I've seen it such that a builder will tell the prospective buyer, well, you can have a pre-approval from another lender, and that's fine, but my builder knows this lender, and my builder trusts this lender only. Mm-hmm. So basically, my client ends up getting strong-armed. And we know that's a housing violation. But we as agents are not going to hire the legal firepower to go through the process of taking a builder like that to court and try to have our way. It just wouldn't be worth our time or money.
And Dan, things like this, it's important. Some people will go to a new construction community and the builder reps will say, you don't need an agent, you can just work with us directly. And, some people want to do that to save a little bit of money. And that's fine. But, these are the kind of things that you have to look out for. This is why it's important as a buyer to have your own representation. You have to remember that the builder rep works for the builder.
That's exactly
those
right.
salespeople, they work for the builder. So it is important to have your own representation. So you have someone representing your best interest and guiding you through the process. I've heard some really bad things that have happened to people buying new construction. People assume that because it's new construction that they don't have to do home inspections.
Right.
And it just can turn out badly. I know, Dan, you had an experience recently where things got really, really bad. I don't know how much you can talk about that, but it became a nightmare from what I understand.
Well, I had some clients buying a rather exclusive custom-built house by a local builder here in Fredericksburg that we obviously won't name. and they basically wrote into the contract that the client was responsible for any cost overages over 10% of the original material and labor cost. Hey, no problem. We signed a contract back in March of 2020. The builder promised that he would have a 9-month build. My client finished all the building agreements with the builder in plenty of time for the builder to start working on the house, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, the courthouse closed down. And when the courthouse closes down, that means that the builder's unable to get the permits that are required to start excavation and then further permitting for plumbing, sewer, and electric. So at the end of a year and a half now of planning and talking to this builder and signing not one, but 2 sales agreements, the builder came back to my buyer and said, there's an additional $93,000 due in order for us to finish your custom home. Our first response, which I'm glad to say my client said, well, no, but we're willing to meet halfway. We recognize that the cost of material has gone up. The builder responded, well, we need to have it all or we stop building, give you your money back and you're on your way. Well, here's where the client's not being held in a blackmail type of fashion, but if they walk away, then they're either going through the new build process all over again, or they're going into a very tight market and having to find the particular custom home that they wanted. Now, these folks, they build motorcycles as a hobby, custom built motorcycles. So they needed to have a 3-bay garage. And if you ever try to find a 3-bay garage, 2 is easy, 3 is exceedingly difficult and rare. Mm-hmm. So they said, this is our dream home. We've worked long and hard for this. We want this house. And they basically acquiesce to the builder and are paying the subsequent $93,000. And I might add, that's after having one attorney talk to another attorney, mm-hmm. because we reached a point where we thought it was worth our time to engage an attorney and just have them review the contract. After both attorneys talked, really the result was our counsel recommended, hey, don't fight it, don't spend the thousands of dollars. If you can pay the extra amount, please do and go forward. And as good fortune would have it, my clients were very well qualified. They've been living in a family member's house, so they haven't had a mortgage, and they're going forward. But it's our job to understand the gist of contracts. I'm hearing that other builders are putting in clauses where they're reserving the right to increase prices by 20% before settlement. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, so I mean, it's just important that you know you have someone helping you who understands the contracts and can explain these things to you, so that you don't have things come up later on and that you're unprepared for. The good thing is, and also, it's important that you're working with an agent who really understands the market, because the other side of that, even though they're going to be paying a lot more, if they signed a contract on it a year ago or even 9 months ago, the market's gone up so much too that at least they've gained, some additional, the home would be higher value for that, and they would be able to sell it for a higher price now as well. So really, understanding the market and how it can change so much from the beginning of when you go into a contract and, and when the house
right.
is completed. That's just something that, hasn't been this much of an issue in the past, but with the way the market has been, you have to keep that in mind too.
Right. So one of the interesting figures that I recently read is the lot of lumber that you would have paid $10,000 for a year ago is now selling for $40,000. And those costs are being passed off directly to the consumer.
Sure.
So the question that many people are asking, well, how did this happen? Why did the cost increase? Well, it's really a matter of supply and demand. Now, the supply and demand issues are rather complex and a little bit cumbersome to explain, but suffice it to say, when COVID hit, we went into a lockdown in 2020. The thought was, hey, the housing market's going to crash. And with that, building is going to crash. And with that, manufacturers basically kind of tamped down their capacity to produce finished lumber from timber. So saw logs that had been in place ready to be processed into lumber just stayed there, and those sawmills who would typically be rendering capacity to the industry, to the building industry, basically said, hey, we're going to get beat up like we did in 2007 and 8. Builders are going to leave the market, and we're going to be stuck with inventory. And raw saw logs are like inventory to a builder. Well, listen, the converse happened. Demand for housing went up. The Federal Reserve underwrote the buying of notes so that interest rates didn't crash and the market didn't crash like it did in 2008. And we're all very fortunate for that. But the result of that is capacity was down for manufacturing, thus supply was down, and all of a sudden we're finding ourselves in need of material that's not accessible because the demand for building is up, because the housing inventory, as Mary alluded to, is down.
Yep. I want to just take a minute to see if we have any comments here. It looks like we've got several people on. Just want to say hi. It looks like Keith is on. Hi, Keith. Joe, Gloria, Pam, Jamie. Hello, everyone. Does anyone have any questions they want to put in? It looks like we've got a few comments, but nobody asking any questions yet.
And of course, if you want to dig into the weeds on this, you can contact us here at the group, and we'd be glad to share our knowledge with you so that if you're going into a new home and you're doing a new build, you do it with a little bit of foresight and thought. Mm-hmm. Now, we're big proponents of new builds, and we frequently help folks find lots and match them up with respected builders who would be able to meet their demands. So, it's nothing you should be afraid of. It just requires a little bit more caution and a little bit more savvy than, say, you would have considered 5 years ago, right, if you were looking to do a new build.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course, exactly. It's not, there's so many advantages to new construction too. It's just that you want to know what you're getting into. It doesn't look like we have any questions right now. So let's see, what do we have coming up, Dan? Some open houses this weekend. We've got several open houses scheduled this weekend.
At least 4 coming on. Most of them are in fact, I think all of them are located in Lake of the Woods. So if you just follow this Facebook feed, you're going to see where those open houses are. Now, I think the plan is to have all 4 open at the same time, so you'll be able to jump from one open house to another if you're interested in property. Now, I know I'm going to be holding a waterfront property open. I think there's going to be at least one other waterfront open.
Right. We have two waterfronts coming on the market this weekend, or this week, before this weekend. And I think at this point they're the only 2 waterfronts that'll be, well, we don't know what other people have coming up this week, but as of right now, I don't think there's any other waterfronts on the market. There was one that just went under contract yesterday, but we'll have 2 waterfronts open this Saturday. We're doing the open houses on Saturday this week. Sometimes we do Sunday, sometimes we do Saturday. This Sunday, of course, is Mother's Day, so we thought it better to do Saturday. We're going to be
1 to 3,
1 to 3, right? Open houses from 1 to 3. There'll be at least 4 houses that you can visit that we're holding open. Plus, I'm sure there's some other open houses in the community too. It's really nice. I can't believe it's already May. The weather's gotten nice. It's great to see people out and about. And the other day, I was doing a tour here in Lake of the Woods, and we went up to the clubhouse, and the clubhouse beach was packed. There were tons of people there having a great time. It was really nice to see. And then we had open houses last Saturday and Sunday, and there were A lot of people coming through out and about. So it's nice to see people out again. Also, we have something else coming up starting at the end of May. What is it? The fourth Friday in May,
Fourth
right?
Friday in May, yep.
Fourth Friday in May.
All the way through the summer.
Yep, the fourth Friday of the month, May through August. There'll be music on the point up in the Lake of the Woods Clubhouse at the area behind there. What else do we have going on?
Wait, and let me just mention, if you're not in the Lake of the Woods community and you want to come to any of the events, just let us know, and a Licata realtor or staff member will just gather your ID and make sure that you get through security and get directions to the events that are on the lake. Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that we're talking about, we haven't finalized the date, was we like to do a family night of movies on the point.
Yeah.
Actually set up a screen outside, usually do a family movie, have some refreshments, popcorn, and basically just a casual night out with a family under the stars. Probably the closest you can get to being in a drive-in movie, but not. Just roll out your blanket with food and friends and enjoy the movie. And let's see, in just a few weeks ago, we finished a community shred event, and it would seem to me that that's probably going to happen sometime again in the near future at a date to be determined, since we had over 175 vehicles drop off shredding materials. So we're starting to open up. Most folks are vaccinated, and I'd say we're getting ready to roll into almost a normal summer, but we're not terribly far away.
Yeah, you mentioned our movie night is similar to going to a drive-in, and we didn't get to do it last year because everything was still closed, but we did it 2 years ago, and it was great event, a lot of fun. But it reminded me, I saw something on Facebook about drive-in concerts. I hadn't heard of that before. Someplace, I think there's a location in Gordonsville. I think maybe the Orange County Fairgrounds. I don't know the dates or who they have or anything like that, but it might be something to check out. I know a lot of people who I've talked to really miss being able to go to concerts. So I thought that was kind of a fun idea. It's like a drive-in concert. So
yeah. The farm markets are open. The wineries are open in Orange County and Spotsylvania County. Hey, it's time to get out. You know.
Yeah, I didn't get to go. We were so busy with real estate this past weekend, but there was the Uncorked Wine Festival,
right, in Orange County,
and some of our team members were there, and they said it was a huge success. It was very busy. It was just great to see these kind of events coming back. So we're excited about that. Let's see. Do we have any more? We have a couple more people that have come on. Jamie, Patsy, Patrick. Hi, everybody. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask before we get off here today? Or if you have any questions that you want us to answer on our LicataLive for next week, we do it every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Just give everyone an opportunity to ask any real estate related or
community
any
questions. Yeah. Shoot us a note. We'd be glad to entertain, enlighten, educate, anything that we can do to help the community, both ours and the public. I think that's it.
All right. Yeah, I don't see any questions. So thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.